Excellent connection. Good day. Hello. Hi, I'm Margie. I'm a Hilk empath. I just like to have these little talks on the way I feel about things. Being a Hilk empath, you're always feeling some kind of way. Unless I'm meditating or doing my night shift, but mostly. I'm really trying to be present today. It's the full moon in Aquarius. Just let it flow. Just let it go. I had kind of an epiphany this morning. I want to thank Kijin for sharing what I shared with her. She did a nice little video. I shared it over on my Facebook page. Third eye activated with 3 eyes. 3 eyes, third eye activated. Three eye. 1, 2, third eye activated. I got that name. I don't ever really tell this story where I got that name. It's what happened to me. I had a powerful experience back in 2016 in my pituitary gland. My pituitary gland freaking activated. See, everybody talks about the pineal gland. The pineal gland looks like a pine cone, has all the secrets to the universe, the higher soul dimensions, you know. It's why all those juicy chrome dome eater drinkers, they take the elevator to get to Ascension. No, you got to take steps, man. It's slow and organic. And those juicy drinkers, man, they take the quick route, and then they go into ego, and well, they're just another fallen angel, just another Lucifer. And then their club gets bigger. See, because you have the people that are of the light, and then if you tempt them and make them do what the demons do, then they're a demon too, and they can't go after you. I think that's what happened to Cappy. I was listening to his last talk this morning. I think he was enticed to drink the juicy chrome. And I think he did it, and I think that he went to the highest dimension and then went to the lowest. I think he became instantly full spectrum, and that's what it does. It's just like peyote or shrooms or LSD. It was made in a lab by the government, not by some crazy mad scientist, and then it got out, and then the deadheads found it, and then the spirits found it. And then you have the people, the spirit using it for their spiritual stuff, and then you have the people, the demons, the fallen demons that use it to control and manipulate and do their perverse biddings. Pizzagate's real, and it's all coming out. People have never believed in this stuff. I was raped when I was 10 months old baby. I read the police report when I was in junior high. I found it in the closet in a pile of papers with divorce papers and court papers, stuff like that, custody papers. Yeah, so I know that people do that stuff. It's the people, men and women. It's the see when you look at it in terms of spirituality, pineal gland is the masculine side of it. Okay, and they activate the pineal gland, but it's the pituitary gland that is the feminine part of that. See, so you can activate that in the masculine, and but what that's going to do is throw forth ego, and you're going to come from a place of ego. But if you're pituitary, now this is for masculine, men and women too. If you activate, put your pituitary gland and your pineal gland, and they both fire up and hit off each other, there's your answers to the universe right there. There's your multi-pass through all dimensions. But what do you got to do that? Some people drink the juicy chrome. Some people drink that shit because that is the ultimate sin, is taking somebody's essence to ascend yourself. It's crabs in a bucket. People know better. The 7 sins? Didn't anybody see that crappy freaking nasty? I couldn't even. The 7. Gluttony, greed. It's all, you know, lust. I don't know what they are. I'm religious. I'm a spirit being having a human experience. And, well, religions to me are human, trying to set up a dialogue of a human experience. control the narrative. And I think that's what happened to Cappy. I think he fell into his ego and he tried it, and then he ascended, and then he's like, now I'm one of them. Now I'm one of them. That's what they do. They get you in your most vulnerable, lowest moment. Don't you just want to try it? See, but when you learn to meditate, you go with, I'm a mystic. I'm a mystic named Marge. I've done it. Plant medicine, psilocybin, Alice. I have ventured in all realms. Then you get to a point when you meditation, you don't need that stuff. You don't even need it. And sometimes you get to such a heightened state of awareness, you don't fucking want it. Because you don't get days off. Because time ain't real. And then you find out that we've been false flags since fucking Santa Claus. People have always just been so hard on me. Because I got a joyful energy, and demons don't like joyful beings. So people have always just gone after me, just poked me. Just, like the person that just gets poked and poked. And I've always been the one to ignore it. So that's given me a lot of ability to go within and to find my own peace. And what we're coming up in is to a collective world where people can't calm themselves down. They don't know how to calm themselves down. It's going to be hard to watch for a while. Because it's people that we thought really had their shit together. It's people that we thought, that were of the higher vibrational frequency. I used to watch Bosom Buddies. I watched Splash. I watched all the movie. I appreciated the work. But what the thing of it is I could tell when his energy shifted. Because actors, they pick roles that they want to play out. And sometimes the actor won't pick roles, like the real versatile ones, the real dark ones, like the ones, the real full ones, they'll go into the shadow aspects of their parts of themselves and play roles. But sometimes they go into the role, and when they come out, and the movie's over and it's a wrap, they still got those shadow aspects in them. And when people just become, live in ego, then all that matters is money, property, and prestige. And people's emotions and feelings, those don't count for naught. Everybody's just a place to put it. Everybody's just a penis pocket in Hollywood. That's what I call them. The Weinsteins, looking for just the opportunists, the seedy, the disgusting. They've been running this country. The karma is coming back. I've been an IT professional. I went to college in the early 2000s for business information systems. Because I've always been all things support. And I was a mechanic in the Air Force. I was an age ranger stationed off at Air Force Base, Nebraska. I flipped baby Bush off out the hangar door at the aid shop on 9/11 because I knew he was a bitch then. And see, I ain't never been nice to people that didn't do nice things. And I read energy, and I know what people really are, and I see people for who they are, full spectrum. And everyone I see, that whenever I see someone that they just think they're the greatest thing, they're just the most wonderful thing, I'm looking for their shadow side. And when people are talking, when I looked how they instantly started demonizing Cappy when he started coming out with this years ago. Because I've been following Q and Cap. I collect data. I got nothing else to do. I look out for my mom, and these are the ways that I spend my days trying to balance my life with taking care of my mom and making sure she has everything she needs and wants, stuff like that, and then trying to create a life of freaking just revealing truth as I see it. And they try to demonize people with different point of views. TMZ, who watches that? Do people watch that and use that as those people? They're like, I was watching all these different interviews. It was all things Cappy this morning because I want to tie up this. And he was talking about he fell into his ego. And I'm like, that's what I think. He drank the juicy. I don't think he did anything to do, I don't think he did the ritual, but I think he got it was like hanging out, with somebody, and they're just like, well, if you can, and then he was just like, well, fuck it, if you can't beat him, join him. Then he joined him, and then I looked up where they found him on the highway, where he supposedly threw himself off the interstate. And I looked up the latitude and longitude. It's Belmont, Arizona. See, I'm big on latitude and longitude. I think people come in alignment based on frequency of like magnetic grids on the earth. And we always end up like in the same places kind of thing. Well, some people freaking are born, they just live in the same city that they've always lived in, and they've never ventured out any farther than that. I have been mostly, I'm on the 45th parallel right now, but I grew up on the 40th and I was born down on the 34th. So anybody, and so the 34th is San Bernardino. So anybody in LA, Las Vegas, you're within plus or two minus. So you're all in the same frequency. See, so you kind of have the same vibe. You got the same spectrums. So, and when you're in bigger cities, more concentrated areas, and you're an energetic sensitive, that's why a lot of people are going crazy, is because you're picking up on the thoughts and behaviors of everyone around you, and people are fucking crazy. And if you don't have any kind of like spiritual practice, yoga, meditation, something that you can just get quiet, be disciplined, and focused, being in the present moment, that people are really going to get caught up in everything else but the present moment. And when they get caught up in the present moment, that's when they freaking start shorting out, you know. Control freaks, I call control freaks psychologists, psychiatrists, any people that pay themselves so much, you know, and then pay organizations for certificates, you know. It's not a level of intelligence that comprehends this stuff. It's just agreement of who's going to allow you to, you know, who you're going to let take your money to endorse. It's all endorsements. It's all clubs. It's all, you know, who people are willing to work with, you know, admissions. Oh, how come this person doesn't get in? Oh, because they're not from the right family. How come these people don't get in here and not? Oh, because it's a club, you know. It's all a club. And people are figuring out all these organizations that the governments have made, the USDA, all these, you know, Congress. They're all just business organizations. Their energy sucks. Their energy resource sucks. So if you put your attention and your resources into them, BLM, which I just like to reduce to BM because it's all shit. It's all bowel movement to me. You know, it's all just, you know, create these clubs to go team go and give me all your money because I say the go team to the team that you want to go to. And then I'll take your money and I'm going to buy me a Tesla. I'm going to buy me a house in the, you know, here. I'm going to buy me a house there. But yay, yay lives. And then I'm going to freaking get me a ticket onto one of those Elon Musk rides so I can go up into space, because it's all membership required, pay membership required. And there is no spirit in that. And Earth, Gaia, is a living being with a spirit. She's no different. He is an energetic. That Earth has her pituitary, and because the Earth has chakras too. It's all chakra energy system. Mount Shasta is the Earth's first chakra, incidentally. Gastonberg, I think, is the third. Is that where Gregory Scott is? I think it's, or maybe the second. But anyway. It's all energy and frequency, and it's people are getting kinged up and tuned up. And so I think what's happening is a lot of people that are waking up, it's like their pituitary glands were activated, or pineal gland, but not the pituitary. Now the pituitary, the feminine side, the feminine, the divine feminine in everyone, in us females, because I was born with I got more masculine in me than feminine aspects. So I denied all the feminine because I grew up, you know, having bad stuff happen to me, watching mom have bad stuff happen to her. And it's just like, man, women are just freaking victims. They just, all this bad stuff happens to them. They're just like sexual cattle to these freaking groups of, you know, sheriffs, police, you know. And if they don't, you know, if they aren't doing it, then they're freaking letting it happen because they're not telling on their buddies. Because, I mean, if you're a cop and you don't know your cop buddies that are freaking trafficking people and shit like that, then you a shit cop and you need to be fired anyway. Because I ain't a cop, and I'm a first responder. I'm an esoteric Sherlock. I put stuff together, and I know when at the point that people break their spirit. See, one thing that my thing is I used to say I'll try anything once. I can't say that anymore. Because there's things that I won't do, because if you don't stand for something, you will fucking fall for anything. Here, try this stuff. It'll expand your mind. It'll give you godlike abilities and powers. Now you're one of them. I expanded my mind a long time ago. You know, I ain't going to believe in anything, anybody, any outside source is ever going to tell me that's going to put me in an advantage. And I recommend that people don't just take my face value for just, I don't want people to take the stuff, anything that I say for face value. I want them to look into this stuff for yourself. I used to like to escape. I used to be an alcohol. I'm always an alcoholic. Once you're, you know, once a cucumber turns into a pickle, it never goes back to a cucumber. So I'm always a pickle. I've done pickled myself, and that's the thing is there's a door in your mind that opens with alcohol, and most people don't want to walk through that door. They don't want to know. Because they just want to live in love and light, and it's just all spirit, you know. And people that ignore the shadow, when you ignore the shadow, that's when the shadow is going to raise up, and, well, then you'll be one of them. You can't ignore the darkness that's in each and every one of us. We all have, you know, different levels of shadow and light. It's all what you can live with. I don't like hurting things. I've been hurt so much. I do not like hurt. It physically pains me. It charges my endocrine system when I'm a jerk to stuff. Because of my programming, my natural inclination is just to fire back and be a dick. So when I harm other people, that is how I'm harming myself. So I'm trying to learn to just love. Dude, my placements aren't easy. I'm Aries Sun. I'm all fire. I'm Scorpio Moon. I am just doing what Scorpio do. Cancer Rising. And the thing of it is we all have these placements in our charts. That's why I'm always saying get in your birth chart. Find out who you are. So when you know your darkness and you see your shadow and you meet it in somebody else, you just know how to keep yourself safe and just go the other way, man. Just go the other way. Turn the other cheek. I ain't big on organized religion. They're bedtime stories to me. I think that there's important, crucial things in all religion. They all have a piece from their perspective of the planet. That's why I like PK so much on Netflix. I think they do a great job of tying that all together. He does another movie, too. I went down an ant hole with him, the actor in PK. So people are coming into the light, and a lot of people don't like their light. A lot of people like their darkness. A lot of people like, you know, making their money, like their, you know, opportunities. They like their cynicism. They like being mad. That's something mom likes to say to me a lot is when she's in a certain kind of mood, she's just telling me that's how she feels. She likes to tell me you like to be mad. And I think to myself, no, anger, man, anger. Anger is what takes people's light. People get hurt. How many people get mad when they get hurt? How many crimes of passion have you seen in the last couple weeks? Crimes of passion. Whether it's a whole family related. And weird stuff in the news today. I don't know. I think I need to not even look at headlines today. After this full moon. Just let this full moon pass and things settle down a little bit, because old Duggar's back. He's out of his long-term perversion correction. Is that what it is? I don't think he went to jail. I think he just went to rehab for his, you know. Careful with your LGBTQ flag. If you're not too careful, they might want to try to slip a P on there. Are people seeing this? Are people seeing like this? It's because, okay, let me put it like this. Has anybody said something and you, like, really can't imagine that happening? And when you say, oh, God, I can't imagine that. Like, you really can't imagine having that experience of what someone's talking about. Good or bad. Well, empath do. Empath will go into your soul sack and have that experience with you. Heyoka. Ones like me. I can only speak for me. I can't speak for all Heyoka. I haven't met them all. I don't know them. Hell, I don't know any other ones personally. I think DT's Heyoka. I just think he's what happens when you sit on the disco ball of shade on the more ego side. When you fall into your ego and just do what you're told, you know, because he came from a very, very misogynistic background. And I knew that just from reading about his granddad. I think it's so funny. People think that, you know, well, I don't think people are having those conversations anymore. The conversations are evolving. And one day people are going to be walking down the street, you know, and they're going to, oh, you know, someone's going to do something dastardly, and you're like, oh my God, you are a falling angel. What can we do to raise you up? What do you need to step back into your light from your shadow? What happened to you? We all have hurts. We all have pains. We all have shit that happened to us. Do you just keep hurt? Do you stay in those low density vibrational frequencies of pain? Because when you sit down there in that pain and you hurt, then you just want to make everybody else hurt around you, because hurt people, and everybody knows that. I know that because I did it. I was in so much pain for so long, I just wanted everyone to be as miserable as me. And when people are a jerk to me, I go right to the quick. Because I just put an end to it right there. Because I just let people know I'm full spectrum. So if you think that's cute and you think it's cunning and you think people are slick doing a sideways jab and stuff like that, no, energy doesn't lie, people. And then they say shit. They say many a truth is said and just, and they say shit and they're mean and they're hurtful and they say stuff that are intended to hurt your feelings. And then when you freaking act like you're hurt, and then they're like, oh, why are you so sensitive? It's all that narcissistic, patriarchal bullshit. It's all freaking, you know, California don't have to freaking literally fall into the ocean, the Pacific Ocean, for California to no longer be California anymore. California is just an idea. Every state is just an idea. And then the people put themselves in charge to create the idea based on their psychology. And it's all every person in authority right now is creating a world how they want to see it. And there is no leadership in that. Because leaders create a world for everyone, not just for them. Yeah? It ain't easy being a leader. You don't have friends when you're a leader. When you do the right thing, I don't know one other fucking human being on the planet, one other person on the planet besides myself, that left their career, that left their 3D life to take care of their mother. In their 40s, let alone 50s, or, you know. I know people do it, because a lot of times they don't have a choice. But to choose to do that, I don't know nobody else has done that. And that hasn't been in my favor so far. You know? But in my, I mean, on a 3D level, but the thing of it is people don't recognize the favors of that. But when we had so much damage between us. She was so mean and so hateful, because when I was a little girl, because she was so hurt, it took me just the first 40 years, 30 years to figure out that it wasn't me. That people treat people based on how they're treated. I thought it was nonsense. It didn't click. It didn't click until that one time I went to say somebody did something to me, and then I said something, and then I was like, I was almost my father or my mother out of my mouth. And that's how I need to end the karma, is stop that programming. So we've healed our relationship. We've healed it because I've come into balance, and when I come into balance, it doesn't matter what anybody else does in the world. It doesn't matter how she treats. Yeah, it hurts my feelings if I want to get into feelings. Because she's been kind of bad. It's been a hard couple days here around here for both of us. I think she should be getting up and around now. But the thing of it is that when I look at situations, when I deal with people, whether I'm related to them or not, if I remove the feeling part out of it, if I take my feelings out of the equations and freaking put them over there and just handle the situation as face value as it is, it's a lot more positive, because when you have two hurt people coming at each other, it turns into negative, and then there's spark and combustion, and that's what we're seeing in the main world today. So do you want to be right, or do you want to be happy? Or I guess a better turn of phrase for today is, do you want to be right, or do you want to be cappy? That's about all I got for now. Hope you have a rad day. Peace.